All right, welcome to the call, everyone. My name is Holly Morris. I'm a national marketing director on Terry Luongo's team, and so I'm so happy to be hosting the call tonight. We are missing Terry and going to be super excited to have her back. But Terry, we hope we're having a fabulous vacation, and we've missed you, but we are very excited to have you back soon. So you guys are in for a really special treat tonight. I'm very excited to get to introduce one of my teammates, Rachel Barkley. Rachel is a sales coordinator on our team, very quickly moving her way to senior sales coordinator. And she has just been an incredible, she's one of those teammates that we all want, right? The one that comes on board and says, I want to do this, I want to learn, what's the system, plug me into it. And so she is doing an incredible job of learning the system that's there for us. And one of those things is that events are so important. So whether we're having a live event or an event on Facebook or whatever that looks like, it's so important at some point that we interact with people in the right ways that are really personal to them. And she has really mastered this, you guys. So I'm excited for us to all learn from her tonight. I have learned so much from her as I've interacted with her and watched her herself, and now she's learning to teach her team how to interact with people specifically via text. And it's all about connection. So whether, again, we're connecting them for the very, very first time, we've never even talked to them about the product before, but we're just wanting to start a connection, or we've introduced them, they've come to an event and we're following up with them, a live event, a Facebook event, maybe we want to invite them to an event, all those different things. It's all about conversation. And so she's going to talk to us tonight about how to begin these conversations, how to continue the conversation, and what it looks like to just be really raw and real with people, because that's what people want. How many of you, show of hands, you can do it on Zoom here so we can all see, how many of you came into this business, or you have people who have come in who've said, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be a salesperson. Right? Pretty much all of us have either said that, or we have the majority of our team come on board that say, I don't want to be a salesperson, or I'm not a salesperson, or I don't want to be that person. And again, Rachel has mastered this of helping us see that you don't have to be. We don't want you to be. Don't be. Please don't be that person, right? Be real and authentic with people, because we have an amazing product, an amazing opportunity, and it's really just beginning that conversation of seeing that it meets a need in their life. So I am going to turn it over to Miss Rachel Barkley.
All right, thanks. So I just want to start. It's funny because Holly, when we first talked about what we were going to discuss at SALT, and she said, oh, it's going to be text blitzing. I was like, what? Text blitzing? But the funny thing is, if you've ever been with your upline or sat in a meeting or whatever, and you've had one of those challenges where whoever's leading the meeting challenges you to get out your memory jogger and go ahead and text some kind of sample text to 5 to 10 people, and just, it's always a race and a game and a contest and fun behind it. But I remember the first couple times that I sat in a situation like that, and I just felt really awkward. And I had that same kind of feeling, that fear. I don't want to come across as a salesperson. And to me, these words kind of make me feel salesy, but really the words just weren't me. And so the fun transition is that I've gotten to see my perspective change. And I've just naturally began text blitzing people. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and the perspective shift that took place for me. So at the same time, I do want to make the point that I think it's so important to step into those kind of challenges because it gets the ball rolling. If we don't ever step into that place that we kind of feel uncomfortable initiating connection, then there's not going to be a connection made. And so it's so important to step into the discomfort a little bit, but then to also find your voice and make it real and authentic. Because this is a relational business, right? As you go in relationship with people and interact with them on a day-to-day basis, it's really becomes a lot easier to mention Juice Plus one of the things that really stuck in my mind was Kurt Beavers was doing a talk that I listened to, and he said, just take the pressure off your conversations. Be okay with mentioning Juice Plus and then backing off of it. You don't have to sit there and try to convince people. You don't have to try to make the sale right away. That's never the goal. It's to drop that seed, right? To plant the seed of Juice Plus in the mind of people as an option, whether it's the product or the business. And so, when I heard that, like, take the pressure off my conversations, that was one of the first like layers to peel back, is I don't have to try to force it in a conversation. And so that was a huge relief to me. And I don't have to try to make the sale right then. That was another huge relief to me. Two things that happened to shift my perspective to just where I was just naturally text blitzing people on my own, and just connecting with people, that desire was there, was last spring, I went to file my income taxes for our family. And for that past year, for the entire year, I had made a consistent check from Juice Plus. And it just hit me what a blessing it was that God had provided to us to be able to, we're living off a single teacher's salary. And so it's really helping us financially to have that consistent income. And I had tried to start my own yoga business prior to that. And I knew the stress that I was under trying to make a consistent check, just running my own small business and personal sessions and trading hours for money, that dollar amount. So Juice Plus really, that experience really built my belief in the company and the business and what I have to offer people there. But then the other thing that really transferred into text blitzing was I was sitting in Anaheim. I was like, it's not Los Angeles. Where were we? Anaheim for a conference, and listening to all the NMD speeches. And I heard speeches from the, like the beautician and lawyers and teachers and all these different people from different professions or stay-at-home moms. And it was almost like every person that I listened to just it brought a person to mind that I needed to contact to have that discussion of, if you're ever looking for money, if you ever have that need, if you ever feel like you just want to get attached to a great community, if you're wanting that piece, if you're needing financial help, or just a different purpose, right? I've got a great business opportunity for you. And so I'm going to share some of those text messages. That's not what I said to them, but you'll see kind of how I personalized it for each of them. But that's what was kind of going on in my mind, was how can I know that we really had this gift of an extra $1,000 to $1,400 every single month, and it made such a difference to our family. And how can I not offer that to my friends who are running small businesses or maybe at the end of their budget? So a couple questions to ask yourself is, number one, do you believe in what the product and the business are to people, what you have to offer people within the product and the business, right? We have a wonderful, wonderful product, and hopefully you guys have each experienced those own, like benefits physically for yourself. And, but if you're still kind of experiencing the benefits through the business, ask yourself, do I even believe what I have to offer to people is just something that's such a gift? Because if you don't, you're just wavering in your belief. And that's part of the process, is building up that belief. And there's some things that you can do to shore up the belief. But the other thing that I want you to ask is, do I believe in this system? And I'm the kind of person that jumps into something, and sometimes I like try to add my own stuff and I create a mess because I'm trying to recreate the wheel in my own way. And I had to back up. And now that I'm really coaching some new reps that are just driven, I'm like, follow mission-driven model. The system is there. Follow it and implement it and put it into practice. So we're going to look at some of that tonight too. But here are a few. I'm going to share my screen, and I made a PowerPoint presentation. So, okay, let me put this on. If you are struggling with your belief, get around people who believe and know what a gift this business is, what a gift this product is, and they're working their own business, right? I am very blessed. I'm around Holly Morris. She lives just 20 minutes from me. I know what a gift that is. And if you don't have that gift, to have somebody right neighboring to you, find somebody in the business that you can boxer, you know, like a couple times a week, and just receive encouragement from and give encouragement to. Go on to your virtual office and watch past NMD speeches. I truly believe if we will make it a discipline to watch a product video every day, a business video every day, or alternate. I teach my reps, set aside, like if you're gonna build the business on 15 minutes every day, you tell me, and we're gonna talk back and forth, and I'm gonna tell you what to do for those 15 minutes today. And it's going to include watching a video of some sort so that they're beginning to hear the verbiage and they're beginning to build their belief. So watch those past NMD speeches that are on the virtual office and build your belief, and let that also stir up people in your life. Let those come to your mind of who might benefit from hearing this message of hope, whether it's the product or the business. And then put the mission-driven model into practice. So I'm going to go on into some example text messages. And yeah, I put, you want to have a personal greeting, offer some sort of education, and then have an ending. I personally love to give people an out. So these are some longer text messages, follow-ups, and they're probably better shorter, but I'm a lengthy talker, I guess. So I said, I gave a personal greeting, and I had invited Bradley to Athletes in Nutrition Facebook event. But so I kind of followed up with why I thought that the educational program, the info behind Juice Plus would be a good fit for him. He's a personal trainer. But I put, if you aren't interested in learning anymore, it will not offend me at all. I hadn't heard back from him for about a week. And so I just wanted him to have that out to say no. And I said, I appreciate a no just as much as a yes, rather than making anyone feel awkward. Because I work with him. I see him every day. I don't want him to feel awkward and see me coming and being like, oh my gosh, I've got to back away. Like, hide me from this woman. So, and he said, I honestly haven't had a chance to look at the Athletes in Nutrition info, but if you'll leave me a hard copy of a brochure on my desk, I'll check it out, right? And so we're still having those conversations, but I know there's plenty of conversations that I have started that I didn't follow up with because I was afraid of making them feel weird. And I probably need to go back. I'm missing out on opportunities to offer these people that hope of healing or financial health. And they need that, right? And oftentimes it's not that they're ignoring me. They haven't had time to check it out. And so sometimes it's just, hey, where are you? And if you're not interested, just tell me. It's not a big deal. So here's another one. Oh. This is another personal trainer. Same thing. This was while I was sitting at conference. So at conference, I started making a list while I was listening to NMD speeches. And then I was like, never mind, I'm just going to go ahead and text them now. I knew that once I would get home, I'd be like talking myself out of it. And that's one of the reasons text blitzing those messages right then are so important, because we can play mental gymnastics with ourselves and talk ourselves out of anything, right? So that's another one to Savannah. Again, at the end, I said, if you're not interested, it won't offend me at all. But if you'd like to learn more, would love to chat personally. And she said, yeah, I'd love to sit down. I've been talking about it with my mom. She did not become a teammate. She became a shredder, and that's totally fine. She said that maybe this fall she'd be interested in further learning about being on team. These are a couple, and it's just like every conversation is a little bit different. That's kind of what makes text blitzing a little bit hard, because you want to format it for the individual, right? So like Brittany, I thought of her while I was sitting in conference because she's a beautician. I was listening to a salon owner tell her NMD speech, and she now has a display set up at her salon, and she just opened a new salon, and she has said, when I get things settled, I might be interested, because she wants to build retirement. So you just never know why people would be interested in Juice Plus. And then one of my friends, just like, you're really close friends. This is one of my really close friends. And I said, I'm at the Juice Plus conference, just saying, you're still on my dream team. I've already talked to her twice about it. I don't care if it's now or 5 years or 10 years down the road. I'm praying you in. You'd really love this company and business. There's no doubt in my mind. So for my close buddies, I'm not going to worry about, I'm not worried so much about offending them, right? They love me no matter what. It's those people that we're just kind of acquaintances. I'm not sure how they're going to take me. So that's just kind of examples of some different text messages. I'd like to talk about the results, because I think for the longest time when I would send out a text blitz, again, I had that mentality, I've got to find somebody, or else I'm just going to feel like rejected and like it wasn't even worth anything. And so oftentimes, instead of texting a bunch of people, I would just text 2, because I was so nervous about nobody saying yes or showing any interest. So here I texted between 10 to 15 people. And this shows, I did get 4 people that didn't respond at all. I had 2 maybes, 1 no. She said, but I love referring people to you, and I'm going to keep doing that. 5 told me I'd like to learn more. 1 of those 5 became a new teammate. 2 of them new shredders, and the other 2 are just still thinking about it. So it's not about the automatic yes. Like, take that pressure off your shoulders when you have conversations with people. It's about building that connection, planting those seeds, and starting the conversation so that the connection can continue. One of my reps, as I've been coaching some new reps, she was struggling with her Facebook friends and family list. She had invited 30 people, but only had 7 say yes. She said, I really want to invite more people. I just can't think of anybody. So we made a post. She made this post without even asking me. She just posted it. I said, that post you made, she made it 2 days before her event. Follow up with all the likes, all the comments. And so ask yourself, are you willing to, are you doing that now? Are you following up with the likes? Often when they follow up with the likes, it may be, hey, thanks for showing interest in my post. I actually have a friends and family Facebook event that I'm launching my business in this week. Would you be interested in checking it out? It would really mean a lot to me. And so she did that, and she had a lot of people say yes after this post. Another one of my shredders really just took time, and she's one of my teammates too, took time to tell her story over the past year of just the health transformation that she's had. So this is a little bit backwards to this one. She had such a great response from that post that I said, okay, we need to follow up with all those people and create an event or connect them with our team event and make sure that they get connected with more information. Sometimes I think that Facebook events are a whole lot easier to get them connected with when you have that mass majority of people coming at you, liking things, versus trying to reach out and have all these individual conversations. Go ahead and connect them with the Facebook event so that they can learn more and then follow up. And hopefully, you want to know which people aren't interested. I want to know which people say no, because then I can spend my time in conversation with those people that really want more information. And I will continue to love the people that aren't interested, right? Love them where they are. And maybe they'll circle back around. But if they're not ready, they're not ready. So it's not my job to try to convince them. I just want to provide and connect them with education to help them make their decision. So connect them with Facebook events or an educational video if you want to individually text each person videos and keep those conversations going individually. So, and that's kind of what I'm coaching my reps to do. This quote really stood out to me when we were prepping for SALT training. It says we need to harness the power of being intentional so we reduce the power we give to the circumstantial. And about the first year of my business, I was just kind of like, I'll just let it come together as it comes together and see what happens. And I think we probably kind of go through seasons of that back and forth. But I also wasn't harnessing the power of intention. And here's the thing. I think that because there's never anything wrong with being intentional in building relationships with people, right? In pursuing them to build relationships. That's where I kind of see, like, if I'll pursue them in love and in that place of just caring for them and loving them where they are. If they say no, I'm not going to keep pushing it on them. I respect their no. I want to honor that, but I'm going to love them no matter where they are. And I'm going to offer other suggestions, right, for their health. Just as far as, like, well, have you checked out eliminating dairy? Or, you know what I mean? Like, get to know the person. I think that really can bring together the business in such a beautiful way that you just don't even realize. I don't know, you just begin to see it all come together the more intentional you are. So I really liked that quote. Okay. Holly is going to show you, here, I'll stop the share, where on Mission Driven Model the text blitzing information is.
All right. So the text blitzing information, like Rachel said, just utilizing missiondrivenmodel.info is huge. It's all there, whatever we're doing. But in this instance specifically, we're going to look at the texting blitz. So if you come down to creating the best customer experience, and then that is not it. It's building your customer base. Building your customer base, and then message blitzing. And I've gone ahead and opened that up so it would download. But there is a training right here you can watch, a video message. But then it gives you tips. Some of these Rachel has covered. Some of them are additional. So take a chance with it. Just play with it and see what might happen to your business and your belief if you gave this a try. It talks about different steps. Step 1, step 2. So it's not a hard process at all. And then there's even some examples of the personal greeting that you could send to someone, the educational exposure, and the ending, the 3 pieces that Rachel showed you. And then, of course, following up. So we don't want to go through all this, but we just want you to know it's here, and there's examples of it. So this is the perfect place to come if it's your first time. It's also the perfect place to bring your team to. If you're coaching someone and trying to get them to have the courage to reach out and try texting blitz. And I just love seeing Rachel transform, because what the 2 big things, the big ahas that I've learned from her are, one, when we know this, that your belief in the product and the company has to be rock solid. Like, you've got to really believe in it, that it's a gift to share with other people. And as our upline, Kathy Crockett, always says, we don't hold our blessings to ourselves, we share them. So, most of us don't ever think twice about recommending a good movie or a book or eat at this restaurant. And we don't even think about it. So why do we get so hung up on, I don't want to share with them, I don't want to think about this, and we prejudge people all the time. We decide for them, I don't think they would want it because of this or that, or we just need to let all of that go. We just need to realize we have an incredible gift in our product, in our business, and then we just share from our heart. And in every example that Rachel showed you, it was personal. It was that I thought this might meet a need in your life because of this, or I'm curious if you would be open to this. And then it's okay if not. Like she said, we're not in the business of trying to convince people of anything. It's not who we are. But we are in the business of trying to educate and expose and share. And so I think it's just reframing our mindset. If we reframe our mindset, it changes everything. And it makes me have the courage, and it makes me brave to go, oh, yes, I did think of these 4 or 5 people, or I bet if I sat here for 10 minutes and I set my timer for 10 minutes, I bet I would think of several people. One of my other favorite things to do is to go to Mission Driven Model and go to the product videos. And when you click on the product videos, you're going to see all these categories. And I'll click on one of them and watch the video, and it's like, oh, that makes me think of so-and-so. it'll make you think of people that you'll go, oh, and it's real quick, copy and paste that video. Hey, Rachel, I know you're training for a marathon, and I just watched this awesome video with Dr. Phillips talking about training, and it made me think about you. I have no idea if this is going to interest you or not, but if I send you this short video, would you want to take a look at it? I'd love to have a conversation with you about what he's recommending. Right? Is that offensive? I don't think it's offensive at all. I don't think it's salesy. I think it's very much caring. And so that's another idea, is to kind of look at those videos, and maybe it makes you think of somebody, and you just genuinely share why you thought of them just then and see if they're open. So thank you, Rachel. You did an amazing job. And like I said, just thanks for gifting us with your examples and your learning experience through this process. I love watching you share with others, and seeing people respond to her, you guys, is equally as impressive. So I hope that it was valuable information for you tonight. We have like 2 minutes till the call is over. So what if you took 2 minutes and you just texted? How many people can you think of right now? Maybe it's a business, maybe it's this community that you go, oh my gosh, I was just on this conference call. We have so much fun together. I don't know if this would interest you, but okay, ready, set, go. Bye, guys.